a colonial's family's reaction to the Stamp Act. And each student was given the same writing prompt, regardless of what grade they were in. And this year, the prompt they received was the following. March 22nd, 2015 marks the 250th anniversary of the Stamp Act. It was passed by the British Parliament in 1765, and this new act required all colonists to pay a tax on every printed piece of paper they used. The Stamp Act was viewed by the colonists as taxation without representation, and the students were then asked to describe a colonial family's discussion about this new Stamp Act and what role it played in the colonists organizing against the British king and Parliament. Well, our chapter received a lot of wonderful responses to this, and I can't wait for you to hear our winning essays. So I would like to start with our 5th grade winner, Genaro from Burlwood Elementary School. He's going to come up now and read his essay to you and then receive his award. So Genaro, if you want to come up, and if you're more comfortable standing in front of here, I'm 5'11", so it's easier for me. So if you want, yeah, you want to just come right up here and read, that'd be fantastic. So here's Genaro.
A colonial family's reaction to the Stamp Act, the New York colony. I remember the day the Stamp Act had started. It was March 22nd, 1765. The British thought they could make money by having the colonists pay a tax for every printed paper. That meant they had to pay taxes for newspapers, legal documents, and everything else that was printed on paper. The colonists went mad when they heard about the stamps they had to buy. Soon after that, word got out on the streets, causing a huge mob with pitchforks and torches. I was in bed, asleep, until a flood of light came through my window. I covered my eyes with one hand and used the other to get out of bed. Was it morning already? I thought to myself until I heard yelling outside. I got up and ran over to the door, exiting into the living room. There I saw my mom with my older sister in the dark corner. They were hiding behind the couch, crouching next to the arms of the chair. My dad was looking out the window curtains, using the curtains to cover his face. I asked my father, "What is going on?" His head popped out of the curtains with an unhappy look on his face. He looked at me and didn't say anything, so I ran toward the window to get a look outside. There, outside, was a mob on the streets with sharpened pitchforks and lighted torches. I noticed a bright line shining on a stand. On the stand was a man hanging from a rope, but then I quickly realized that it was a scarecrow. I noticed that it was dressed to look like the general that was living in the biggest house in town. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw the general's house on fire. My dad walked away from the window. On the kitchen table was a newspaper. He took it and handed it to me. It read, "Today is the start of a new Stamp Act. Do we have to pay a tax for every printed piece of paper?" "What?" I yelled angrily. "Why do we have to pay some dumb tax for every printed piece of paper?" My dad responded with a sigh. The British decided that they could make money by having the colonists buy a British stamp to make the paper legal. If you don't have a stamp on paper materials like newspapers and legal documents, then they're completely worthless. "So any paper we have to get and write on, we have to have a British stamp on it?" I asked. "Yes," my father responded. "I can't believe this. What does this mean for our shop, Dad?" I asked, calming down a bit. "The shop was burned to the ground," he said with a sad look. "I have been accused of helping the general by conspiring against the new British taxes." "This is crazy, Dad. How are we going to eat?" I asked as I began to cry. My dad looked at me in the eye and his eyes were full of tears. I knew he was trying to be strong. "Son, I need you to be the man of the house. We're patriots. We need to be true to our freedom. I'm going to join the general's army against the British, and I will get paid for it," my dad explained. I hugged my dad and whispered, "I want to go with you, Dad. I am a patriot too. I know the army needs all the help they can